Hello.
You gotta click up here.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Clarence East Field for the home opener for York Dukes Lacrosse. I'm Christian McQuade. Alongside me, Griffin Hanna, where we have the matchup between the York Dukes, who come in preseason ranked in the top 10, and then a newer lacrosse team in the Montini Broncos. It's their first year with lacrosse. So we'll see how this match goes, but York comes in with definitely the upper hand here, Griffin.
Like you said, Montini is in their first year of lacrosse. This is definitely going to be a tough matchup again for them, going up against the Dukes and the two-headed monster on attack of Evian Plata and Josh Reddick. Definitely a lot of chemistry between the two of them. Scored a lot of goals in their previous game.
Yeah, we should be set for the face-off here between... Sorry, we're getting to know the rosters here. Face-off will be between Braden Bartlett, and we are limited on the Montini guys, so we'll try to see what we have here. They don't even have their numbers written down. We'll do our best, but number 10 on Montini and Braden Bartlett. Bartlett and his little brother, definitely the leaders of this team when it comes to scoring. Have a guy that's a sophomore and a senior. It's a good combo connection. And the face-off is won by the Dukes. Up top with it is Finton Helm. Helm brings it to the 40-yard line now, working his way up the right sideline, or right side of the field. Makes a nice move, now cutting over to the 20 to the 10. Now behind the goal.
All attackers right now for the Dukes in that X position, definitely looking to get an evade around their defenders and go from behind the goal.
They're swinging it around. PJ McClafferty comes up. He's at the 30-yard line working on his guy. He's attacking now, moving to the net. It's swapped away by number 10 of Montini. Great defense there from the Broncos.
10 of Montini really putting the team on his back right now, just driving through every single Duke defender, being the Fogo guy for his team as well.
They got the offensive foul there.
Definitely a player to look out for, though. Number 10 on Montini.
Or a penalty, if you will. Same thing. I'm not really sure if you can foul out on the cross, but Duke's now moving it around the net. Here's the shot on goal, but it's blocked, and it goes back out. It's a scramble for the ball, but Montini's got it. And did he score?
No goal. Crease infraction there from Plata. Was in that circle. Once in lacrosse, you cannot go in that circle. The crease is where only the goalie and his team can be. No goal there. It's waved off.
Montini almost loses it out of bounds. They keep it in, and now it's a scramble for the ball. Here comes, who is that? Is that McClafferty? They're moving the ball up the left sideline. They're going to throw it back over to, I was going to say Jesse Ryburn, but Jesse Ryburn is not number 13, as it says on the roster.
Reddick back there in the X zone, working on his defender, trying to swing it in front of the keeper.
Possession definitely been dominated by the Dukes here early, as Montini really hasn't much going on. The shot on goal is good, and that's going to be for number 13, Evan Gaughan. Definitely not Jesse Ryburn. There's got two different 13s on here. So Evan Gaughan will pick up the first goal for the Dukes, and they're going to get on the board here early, 1-0.
Montini's inexperience was really showing there, just a lot of lack of communication, and they're just struggling to move the ball out of their own zone. Just a really, really tough game here for Montini, as it's their first year with the lacrosse program, going up against this Very dominant Dukes team.
And this time the face-off won by the Dukes. Great job by coming out of nowhere and making a plays for them. As Finton Helm scoops it up. Helm moving down the field. He's surveying the right side. Looks like he's going to slow it down, but, Finton Helm, also a great football player.
Like you said, great football player, plays the wideout position. No stranger to gunning it down the field. Definitely at home on this Clarence D. East field.
And Finton Helm is going to be subbed out of the game.
Long stick midi coming into his place for him.
And there's a flag on the play. Oh, massive. Don't know who that's on, but
looks to be on a Montini player as it's delayed penalty here.
And the Dukes get trucked under the net. Looks like they had a nice look, but Montini's defense holding them out of the net, and now we're going to get the whistle for the flag. It's going to go against Montini, as Griffin said. And now some new faces for the Dukes.
Out goes the entire front attack for the Dukes. Reddick, Plata, and number 10 all going to the bench.
Yeah, now checking in, number 25, Landon McQuade. Up top, also checking in will be Evan Gaughan back in from the bench. McQuade will throw it in. He fires it over to Shane Trainer. Back to Landon McQuade.
A lot of ball movement here from the Dukes, looking to get everybody involved in this possession. Like you said earlier, Christian, the Dukes have dominated possession time. Montini has it's felt like they've never had the ball.
Shot on goal is wide, but definitely a good look there, Griffin.
Dukes retained the possession there as they were closest when it went out of bounds post-shot. More subs coming in here.
And it's a timeout. Yes, a timeout. The Dukes will talk things over. 1-0, they lead. 7 minutes and 48 seconds remain here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more action here on York Sports Network. News or something, I don't know. We are back from the short break where the Dukes are up 1-0 with the possession. And they've really been dominating the possession, speak of the devil. But, it's been a one-sided matchup this early. And I'd give credit to Montini's defense for holding the Dukes only to one goal here. But some of the reserves getting in the action.
Hey, doom-scrolling bump, move the camera. Oh my god, you spineless bump, move the camera.
We apologize if you hear anything going on. There's a few little kids behind us watching the stream. But let's get back to the action as they have it behind the net over the middle.
Very aggressive look here from the Dukes. They have two ex-attackers. Typically you only see one behind the goalie.
Up the middle, and the shot on goal. Where did the ball go? No one could find it. McQuade picks it up, and he misses. Just off the mark. Looks like he had a pretty good look. I'm not sure. McQuade gets laid out.
McQuade taking a beating there in those last couple moments. Definitely fighting for his first goal of the season. Once again, the Dukes staying in this 2X attackers look. Reddick and
McQuade is also an attack.
Yes. Reddick and McQuade behind the goalie here.
Look at Reddick. Nice moves, and his shot is off the mark. No, it's in. Reddick just so shifty, and he's able to catch the corner of the net there, and that'll put the Dukes up 2-0. It's been a pretty quiet day in the sports world with no March Madness today. I will say it's kind of been a crappy day, in my opinion. The past 4 days of basketball in a row have been the best part of the year. And, you know, Griffin, speaking of that, who do you have winning your bracket?
Right now I got Florida still looking good, and Todd Golan's got the boys rolling right now. Simon Kadowski, Fogo for this face-off.
And Kadowski loses the face-off, but great job by the Dukes to win it back. But Montini's able to pick it up.
Great face-off and get-off there by number 10 of Montini. As we said earlier, definitely putting the team on his back right now.
Great job juking out your defender, but he loses the ball, and he sticks with it. That'll be number 30, Gavin Hinkle.
As we said, we are just learning the lineups here, and we haven't heard much from the York Dukes defense as they've dominated possession time and on the offensive end.
What a pass from Gavin Chavez. That was an absolute rocket. And here come the Dukes down the field. A nice look for the lefty, and he's going to get this one to go. That is going to be number 36, Cade Imbergia.
Imbergia already with his second goal of the game, going back-to-back.
Evan gone,
and then Imbergia.
Oh, really? Twice?
Yeah, Reddick's 26, Imbergia's 36. Very similar up here in the booth.
First goal, I'm sorry, it wasn't by Reddick either. It was Adam Crum, number 6, so we both got that wrong. I thought Reddick was 6, and you thought it was Imbergia, but it's been a few different guys, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a hat trick as, you know, for the past few games. Last year we had guys on this team that were able to have hat tricks as Gavin Chavez with a nice save and a little, what do you call that, a stick twirl? Or?
Little flashy there on the save. Might get a...
He's doing it again.
Might get an earful from the coach, but
he's coming out of the net. He gets decked. He gets laid out. Not sure what's going on there, but Duke's defense looking to recover. Montini trying to pick it up, but they got in. I'm not sure.
Long stick defender for the Dukes is coming in here with the sub.
Maybe number 21 checking in. Jeez. Sorry, the rosters are not in order at all. Well, it is going to be Nathan Nicholson.
Once again, number 10 on Montini with the ball. Passes it away, but he's been carrying the load for this Montini attack and face-off.
And stolen by Nicholson. Now he decks number 5, who's got a lot of trouble getting up, and now hitting the deck will be 32, Thaddeus Dowdy.
Flag on the play here. Number 5 had to pick his mouth guard up off the ground after getting laid out there. Let's see what the flag is.
The penalty is accepted. We'll go to the Dukes. So still 3-0. It's still the first period. early. Now, if you're a Dukes fan watching at home, I know a lot of you guys want to see Jesse Ryburn check in. He's one of the quarterbacks of the Dukes football team.
Quarterback and goalie, two of what many consider the most important positions.
Plata now attacking. He crosses it. The great cut, and the finish is no good from Thaddeus Dowdy.
Great hustle there from Inbergia. If the ball goes out of bounds after a shot attempt, whatever team is closest to the ball gets possession. Inbergia hustling to get there, giving the Dukes extra possession.
The shot on goal from Helm is way off, but we'll stay with the Dukes as, like you just said, hustling and making sure you're in great position to get the ball back. It's the little things like that win you games.
Reddick going one-on-one, loses the ball there. Penalty is called. Montini possession.
Got another flag. It's been pretty chippy for only the first period. Quite a few of flags have been thrown here.
A lot of substitutions here for the Dukes, reserves and starters getting what seems to be equal playing time. As like we said, Montini is a very new program at their school, limited amount of players, definitely players trying to get their opportunities.
Yeah, it is a small Catholic school, which does open up the range to recruit, but when it is your first-year program, you kind of got to develop a little bit your program before you start recruiting big names. You do see a lot of small Catholic schools being pretty good at lacrosse as of recently, though. But usually the bigger schools like New Trier, Loyola Academy have been dominating. Also, York has their name in there over the past few years.
Both on the boys.
West is always great.
Yeah, York's definitely got their hand both on the girls and boys side of the sport, dominant in both genders.
And they get the ball across the field, making a nice run here. It's 13, Evan gone. They're going to start to attack now. Long stick for Montini, playing some great defense as, wow, nice juke move. He's slapping him in the back. That's how physical this game is. Many people just think that it's not as physical as some other sports, but, you know, the girls and the boys lacrosse, it's a completely different sport, not nearly as physical.
Surprised there was a no slashing call there, as he looked like the long stick defender on Montini was just kind of slapping at number 30's back, but they're letting him play.
He's doing it again. Yeah, number 2 on Montini showing he's a force to be reckoned with. Now shoves him out of the way. He's letting number 30 on York know. That's going to be, I'm so slow at these rosters. I apologize. Gavin Hinkle. Now he's letting him feel it.
Inbergia now getting chippy. These two teams going at each other.
And Hinkle's getting his hands in there. Great
stick check there from Hinkle.
And they are going to get a timeout taken by Montini. So 3-0, 1 minute and 13 seconds remain here in the first period. Don't go anymore. More action coming your way. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from the short break here on York Sports Network. I'm Christian McQuade. Alongside me, Griffin Hanna. Griffin, break down what's gone on in this game so far and why York's got a strong 3-0 lead here in the first period.
This game has been a sharp contrast between the two teams, almost like a yin and yang match here. The Dukes are killing the offensive possession time, never giving really the ball up, getting a ton of shot attempts going, and really just dominated possession time. While Montini is struggling to get it past half field, they've only gotten 1 to 3 shot attempts off, and Chavez is just locking down the net, denying any opportunity they have.
And Montini will start the ball out of the timeout. Have decent positioning, but the Dukes are going to stack the defense in front of Chavez. Like you said, they haven't really got the best looks yet. As here's going to be a shot on goal and a snipe for number 10 on Montini. Good-looking shot, and that will cut the lead down to 2 as it's 3-1. Still Dukes' favor.
Once again, we've said it almost all game. Number 10 is carrying the load for this Montini team, being the face-off guy, scoring the first goal there. And honestly, if you look at Montini possession time, 10 is the main contributor of that.
And he wins another face-off, but then he loses the ball, so Dukes will retain possession, now working up the field. And he's just going to lose this one. Great defense by 16 on Montini.
Like you said, 16, using the long stick to his advantage there, getting the stick check and turning the possession in their favor.
And Montini working the ball back up the middle. Here comes the Dukes defense. They try to lay him out. Nicholson wasn't able to. And Montini has the ball on the sideline. Great job by the Dukes defense to retain possession and coming around their own net. And that's going to bring the first period to a close. York leads 3-1. Don't go anywhere. We got more action coming your way here on York Sports Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from the short break where the York Dukes are up with an early lead, 3-1. And, they've been able to have fun, get some other guys in. And, York comes in with a lot more experience to this young Montini program, as Griffin mentioned earlier, first year. So hanging around with usually a great lacrosse team in York the past few years is a great way to start the season. We'll see if the Dukes are going to be able to pull away or not, but still only a 2-goal lead here.
Once again, number 10 on Montini wins the face-off and then just carrying it into the offensive zone.
And now he's up top, just running the show, waiting for a match he likes. And he's going to attack the net now. Dumps it off. Shot on goal is off the mark. Nice save by Chavez as he's going to pick it up. Surveying the defense, he's going to throw it over to Nicholson, who's going to get shoved out of bounds. It'll be Montini ball. And the shot on goal for 10 and Montini is good once again. He's been a force to be reckoned with here early.
Second goal for 10 here. Dukes might want to think about getting their starters back in. Montini's threatening right now and maybe looking at an upset.
All starters back out for the Dukes, it looks like, as Imberja checks in for McQuade. Plata is back in. Or no, Jack War, excuse me, in the backfield. Face-off won by the Dukes. They're attacking now. Reddick, and the shot on goal. What a quick answer it is for the Dukes. That's going to be number 2. Charlie Malcolm. Malcolm started playing on varsity as a freshman, so he certainly plays with a lot more experience than he has on the roster sheet. Usually juniors and seniors dominate varsity rosters, but, having a guy like Malcolm, 4-year varsity guy, is definitely huge for this team and the future of this team, with young Bartlett as well, who's another star.
The younger Bartlett brother and Josh Reddick being a sophomore. Definitely a bright future for this Dukes team. Face-off won by the Dukes there. Confusion on the get-off, though. Montini
scoops
wins.
it up. He's going to get hacked at, but the Dukes will stick with it. Nice pass to Malcolm. Malcolm's going to dump it back off. And here comes McClafferty now. McClafferty just over to Malcolm. Malcolm around the net for Reddick. Swinging the ball around. It's kind of like a 5-out look in basketball. Attack, pass, cut. Very simple.
Like you said, the Dukes are kind of just in a simple little offense here. Definitely showed in that previous possession that they can score whenever they want. Just honestly looks like they're trying out different offenses, preparing for the rest of their season.
And here come the Broncos in transition. The goal is good. Back and forth here we go as Montini says they're not going anywhere. 4-3 and still 10 minutes remaining in the second period.
Chavez upset with something, yelling at his teammates and Montini. Duke still clinging on to the lead, only 1 point though. Scoring definitely at a premium in this game. Started to pick up here in the second quarter, but the first quarter didn't see much. False start there.
Here come the Broncos. They're just taking their sweet time. They're not worried about anything. They got the lead down to 1 here and are sticking around with a very talented Dukes roster. Beats his defender, 14. The shot on goal is good. He bounces it in, and Montini ties this one up. What a turn of events.
If you told me Montini would come back into this game and tie it up in the first quarter, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. Montini storming back into this game, now having it tied up with just under 9.5 minutes to go in the second period.
And both these teams want to talk things over. The Dukes will use a timeout. 4-4 is your score here from Clarence East Field. Don't go anywhere. More action coming your way here on York Sports Network. Luca DeSanto transferring to Christ the King.
Bro, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Breaking news, Luca DeSanto from YSN is transferring to Christ the King
CTKSN soon.
with another member, Gabe Arriaga. They will be the basketball managers of Christ the King Gladiators, who made it to the state final this year. We're going to get back to the action, though. A great answer from the Dukes. However, they got the shot they wanted, just couldn't get it to fall, and it's exactly what Coach wanted out of the timeout.
Reddick with it, working alongside the sideline, evading Montini.
The cross, the finish, and it's a goal for the Dukes. That's going to be for Shane Trainer.
It's a 4-night period, 4 games.
And bring the lead back up, 5-4.
And just like that, number 10 for Montini is back. Got a little break going early and immediately back into the game.
Your goal, his first of the game, scored by number 17, Shane Trainer.
And the Dukes with a big answer put them back up 1. Reddick. He's going to bring it up the left side. He's getting checked by number 2 on Montini as Reddick spins now. Throws it back over to McClafferty.
Montini really just a two-headed monster so far. 2 locking down the defensive side and 10 captaining the offense.
McClafferty going to work on offense here. Spinning out of it. Stays with it. He gets off the ground. Now looking to score, but it's saved. A nice move, just not the finish he was looking for. Number 9 is the goalie for Montini as he's going to toss this one out and get it back. He's walking it down the field. Almost a turnover, but way to stay with it. Now picked up by the Dukes and pushing it up the field. Still sticking with it. And now cutting it back up the middle. They may get a good look out of this. Trainer over to Malcolm. Over to Reddick. Back over to McClafferty. McClafferty looking to attack. Here comes a screen. And the shot on goal is off the mark. And I believe it should stay with the Dukes as they were closest to where it went out of bounds.
Reddick back to the X attacker, was playing left winger, but now back to where we saw him in the first quarter.
And McClafferty's going to scoop it up. Malcolm now trying to stay with it. Reddick has it now. Reddick moving his way up the middle. His shot is blocked, and he picks it back up. Looks like he's just going to reset the offense. Malcolm now with a nice pass, a great cut, and a nice finish for the Dukes.
Great job there by number 30, faking out the goalie there, looking like he's going to go up, pump fakes, and then goes with the bounce shot to get the goal.
Absolutely, and that goal is going to be for, I don't know if we have a 30 on the roster here. We do, I'm sorry. Gavin Hinkle will pick up the goal, the senior. He made a great cut and a nice find from Malcolm. You know, he said he reset the offense. He waited for the right cut. That's exactly what Hinkle gave him, and it's a nice answer that you got. You're feeling a little more comfortable if you're the coach of the Dukes. Here comes 10 for Montini once again. Really playing physical. He misses wide, and it will stay here with the Broncos.
10 winning the face-off battle here. Looking very dominant over Finton Helm right now. Helm with a couple false starts, but otherwise it's been old number 10 on the Fogo.
Montini now working with it up top. Number 14 had the left-handed shot. It wasn't able to get to go, so it was a nice save from Chavez, and nice pass there from Klein. Reddick getting hacked at from behind, and great defense by the Broncos. Very physical. Refs really haven't called too much of the checking, as you were mentioning earlier, Griffin. I think they're going to let them play physical, as here's a flag tossed. As it looks like 24, Carson Forsberg may have said something.
Slashing called.
Yeah, he wasn't too happy about that as he was talking to the ref after, but he got teed up. That's going to be a technical on Forsberg. Got to be careful if you're the Dukes with only a 2-goal lead. It could become an issue against the Montini team, who's playing pretty good lacrosse right now. Looks like we're going to have some subs. McQuade's going to check in for Forsberg. They're going to shift Malcolm over to where Forsberg was playing, so they'll have McQuade at right attack and Malcolm left. Klein playing some great defense. Montini with the shot on goal, and it's saved by Chavez. And somehow, someway, the Dukes come out with it. It's Evan Gaughan moving his way up the field. No one can catch him.
We got a broken stick for a Montini attacker. He's got to come out. In comes a long stick midi, number 16 for Montini.
Nice little spin move there. And Reddick now controlling it up top. He's directing traffic. He's calling Malcolm to go to the middle.
Reddick going to that X zone behind the goal. Very comfortable in this position, captaining the offense.
Look for a Duke person or player to cut down the middle. That's how they got their last goal. And here's the pass, and the finish missed. McQuade scoops it up and misses. It's going to go or stick with Malcolm. Great job scooping up, keeping the possession alive here.
Great play there by Montini's goalie, number 9, coming out of the goal and getting physical with McQuade, blocking the shot with his body rather than the stick.
Another great pass. It goes past the Dukes as it's now going to go out of bounds. McQuade sticks with it and gets shoved to the deck.
Montini getting very physical here. Reddick hit the deck earlier in the possession, then did McQuade. Big hit by Frank there. Maybe looking at a cross-checking there. Frank Klein, that is.
And they're going to check Klein out. Looks like they are going to make a few substitutions here. But York did get a few really great looks on offense there. They had what they wanted, just weren't able to finish. And looks like Klein's getting looked at by the trainer there. And it looks like Frank Klein's stick's been broken.
Already the second broken stick of the game,
And
just to
Klein,
show how
maybe-
chippy it's
maybe
getting.
some karma from the hit he gave that kid. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout called by Montini, their last of the first half. So we're going to step aside. Score is 6-4, 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Hello, everyone, and we are back from the short break where Yorks cling to their 2-goal lead here. Montini is not going anywhere, though. Number 10 has been their star. Here's a shot on goal, but a great save from Chavez, getting down on one knee and scooping it up. Chavez is a pretty good passer, too. He's made a few nice dimes. There's another one as Evan Gone now is going to attack, and here comes Montini's number 12 from behind, but Gaughan's going to slow it down.
As you said, Chavez is a very good passer. He can really send it down the field, show off the arm strength when needed.
A nice run here as they're going to bring this one behind the goal.
Exiting the X zone now.
And Adam Crum still with it. He's had it for the past few seconds as he's now going to bring it behind the goal. He makes a nice spin move, looking for a cutter. The Dukes are having trouble creating some offense. We'll get it back to Evan Gaughan.
Looks like the Dukes are just trying to get to halftime here. Not doing much on the attack, but here comes Gaughan.
And Gaughan's just going to slow it down, exactly what you're saying. It looks like they're kind of trying to get the best look possible, not really trying to force much. And Gaughan, we're just holding the ball. Give it back to Adam Crum. The two seniors controlling the possession for the most part here for York.
Looking like a cross-country meet rather than a lacrosse game right now. Just trying to get even. They're a man down as one of their players is in the penalty box. Now they're even. Let's see if the Dukes go back on the attack.
Here comes the run from McClafferty. He's looking for a cutter. The shot's off the mark, and here McQuade is not able to pick it up. However, they do get it. They just need to find the net as the goalie is pulled.
Reddick getting pushed around by Gone, now back with it.
Gone attacking, fires over to Crum. Crum with the shot, but it's blocked. Both by no one other than number 10, of course.
And with
been the guy for them, and he gets it back.
With that stick check, the ball has now been in the
scooped up.
It's with the Dukes. Now that surpasses 2 minutes of being in the offensive zone for the Dukes here.
Now they got a goal. They've taken lots of time off the clock. Probably when it hits around 30 seconds, they're going to try to make one final run, maybe even 20. We'll see how long they take here.
Originally stalling just to get even, as they did have a player in the penalty box, but now they honestly just look to be milking down the clock till half.
Trying to find a cutter. Malcolm doing a great job. 20 seconds remain. They got to go. Helm has it up top, working on his guy. Takes his way up the middle. He shoots and connects. Finton Helm is able to get the lead up to 3. It's certainly a nice cushion for the Dukes, as it's now 7-4 with 12 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Great execution there from the Dukes, just holding on to the ball, get even, and then even they're just making that clock wind down. 12 seconds left, get a score in.
If they're able to get to the locker room finishing the half like this without giving away a last-second goal, I think Coach has got to feel pretty confident about the way this half has ended compared to the way it started. You know, having that 3-0 lead and then giving up 3 in a row, whatever it was. But the Dukes look to add in the second half, as there's 8 seconds remaining here in the first 5 seconds. And that should bring the first half to a close. 7-4 is your score here from Clarence to East Field. We're not going anywhere. More second half action coming your way here on York Sports Network. Hello, everyone, and we're going to get back to the action here on York Sports Network, where the Dukes cling to their 3-goal lead. And it's kind of been the story for Montini has been number 10.
We do not have we have rosters with names, but no names correlated with numbers. So number 10 is what it'll be going by, and it's been a dog for this Montini team. The Fogo guy winning majority of his face-offs and then just dominating the offensive end.
Kadowski and 10 to fight it off here, and looks like the Dukes are going to not win it. Nope, they do.
Duke struggling with the get-off there.
Mr. Get Off, not Get Off. Sorry, Kendrick Lamar.
Face-off one
When I
there
hear
by Kadowski.
music, it makes We apologize if the main camera was a little shaky. One of our members, Zach Silkitis, has trouble keeping the camera straight. So if the camera work isn't very good, we apologize. But we love having him here at York Sports Network. He does a great job 30% of the time. Just kidding, obviously. Reddick moving across. Now going to pull it back out and reset the offense.
Someone say that although it says overtime, it's the third quarter.
We apologize for our technical difficulties on the scoreboard. It is the third quarter, not overtime.
Yeah, but I have a USB-C.
Coming up next is Montini versus York girls matchup, and we'll have a nice game there. So make sure to stay tuned for the game after, as Berja is going to miss the shot on goal, or excuse me, Reddick. It's saved by number 9.
Plata set up Reddick there perfectly. Great pass there, right in the slot, but Reddick wasn't able to get past the goaltender.
Plata now moving it down the field. He gets sent to the deck. Uh-oh.
Flag called. Maybe, most likely a slashing, maybe an illegal check there. Unsure of what the call is, but it is Duke's possession.
Lots of girls and stuff here tonight with the matchup between York and Montini coming up, Griffin.
Hoping the girls' team does as well, if not better, as the guys' team here, as they're holding on to 3.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here, Griffin. Still 19 minutes of play left. The shot is off the mark for the Dukes, and they will stay with it. Shout out to Connor Choi in media. He's at the volleyball game right now taking pictures. We think he's properly rated here at York Sports Network. As J. Andy would say, overrated, underrated? No, properly rated.
Evian Plata to take the throw in here. He's definitely a strong guy. Definitely will get it into the slot if needed.
Yeah, he's a guy for sure. He's a guy.
Not only is he a great attacker on the field, he's that locker room guy. Really brings the team together.
Yeah, he's a guy. As Reddick, the shot on goal is off the post, no good. The rebound for Reddick dumps it back off. And Berja off the mark. Berja misses 2 nice looks there.
Honestly, more impressive that Berja went twice off the crossbar instead of getting the goal there.
Bergia, third time's the charm. No. Another save for Montini.
Errant pass there from the keeper. He was visibly upset after that left his stick.
And another save for number 9 on Montini. That's 4 this half in only 3 minutes and a half. As Helm is going to send a Bronco to the deck. Down goes Anderson.
Whistle called. Montini ball there after the illegal check. Cross-checking, actually.
Ben Witt picks down, taking pictures. Ben Whitney on the field. Jack War now back into the game. The Broncos just slowing down their offense here. It's been a struggle getting in to the scoring zone for Montini. They've kind of just had 1 or 2 guys that have been able to get into the middle and create some offense, but
Montini is not down a man. They are even right now, so it doesn't look like they're trying to kill time. Just, like you said, Christian, struggling to even get into the slot, get into a point where you could get a shot on goal.
And the speak of the devil, number 10 picks up his 3rd goal of the game. That's a hat trick. He's really done it all. Time after time, and Duke's really haven't had an answer for him.
Bronco goal scored by number 10.
We've got an untied shoelace. Explaining the break in the action there.
This game has been very long. Still plenty of time left here, too.
Just under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Montini's shoes are all tied and ready to get the face-off going. 10 to take it as we said, he is shouldering the load for this Montini team. Undersized, but winning as many face-offs as he can. Once again, 10 wins the face-off and get-off.
And the ball looks to be out of bounds before the Dukes are able to pick it up and get away with it. So we'll stay here. Or we'll go back to the Broncos, excuse me.
Josh Reddick disagreeing with the call, having a little chat with the ref.
Got to be careful. Forsberg already picked up 1 technical. The refs are not afraid to blow the whistle.
It's been a chippy game, but like you said, the refs are not afraid to hand out techs. Subs here for the Duke, getting a short stick midi in. Definitely loading up the front part.
Seven to 5 is your score. 6 minutes remaining here in the 3rd period.
Great interception there by the long stick midi.
And Plata has it now over to Victor Vedamanis. Fires it back over to Gaughan. Evan Gaughan, the leading tackler of the York Dukes football team earlier this fall, the team that went to state. Griffin, do you know if Christ the King has a lacrosse team?
I am unsure upon that, as we are not watching Christ the King. We are watching Montini and York.
Well, the colors of Montini make me think about Christ the King and their great run they had in the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic, the 50th annual. With YSN quarter zips, of course. And brochures. And we do like Y-ball here at YSN as well. At Ryan Brownlee. You know, you were mentioning the Florida Gators earlier, Griffin, how good they are doing in March Madness. It reminds me of Ryan Brownlee. Oh, a massive steal there.
Duke's constantly threatening here on the offensive side. Anytime it looks like there's any momentum building, they just kind of stall it out. Once again,
Hey, they're not rushing, man.
there's a difference between slower tempo and stalling, and Duke seem to be toying with that line. Reddick with it in the X zone.
They're trying to slow down the Broncos and make them play their pace. Kind of like the way VCU plays. VCU couldn't get it done against Baylor, though. Or BYU, excuse me. Baylor is the most overrated team in the NCAA tournament, in my opinion. Maybe McNeese with Amin Khan or a Khan. Amin the dream.
Long pass here from the Montini.
Oh, a massive pass. Way off the mark.
Ben Whitney getting on the action.
He
Cameraman.
used to play lacrosse. He was telling me this earlier. I was very unaware, but
He also used to play baseball.
Once again, the Dukes, anytime they look threatening in the offense, they just kind of toss it back to the X zone. The X zone being the area behind the goal. Josh Reddick trying to make a move on his defender. Definitely getting physical here.
and picking this one up are the Dukes, and they're just going to reset the possession. And Berja working on his guy, trying to get the middle so we can kick it out for a nice cut. If you give up the middle and the cross, it's really hard to get a stop. It's up to the goalie at that point. As Plata trying to get the middle. Great defense in there. Is the shot on goal, but it's off the mark. It's saved by the Broncos. They're going to resume play here.
Great twirl skills there from 12. He's moving fast with the ball.
12 is a massive player for this team. They need him to be better to win this game. They're only down 2 scores. No sign of Frank Klein.
Broke his stick earlier. He went down into the penalty box and then in frustration is put it on his knee and then it fell apart. So unsure if he will be able to return to the game with no stick.
Yeah, that is just not a nice loss for the Dukes there. They need him in the game, but they have plenty of good reserves. They've been playing them all game. Not afraid to dig into their bench. And I think, when it comes time in games later in the season when they're running out of energy, so they play games back-to-back, you're going to need a good bench. It's almost like the NCAA tournament in ways. Any good team needs to have guys off the bench who can come and perform and make plays.
Like you said, this Dukes team definitely not afraid to mix up the lineup here. Montini is a very young program, first year with the lacrosse team, therefore allowing the Dukes to maybe look at a couple of their bench guys, see who can come in for tired defenders.
So I do have the Montini roster. I don't have their numbers, but Wyatt Prater, I caddy with him in the summer, and I do know he goes to Montini, and he has a few offers. Actually, one from Ohio State. He is in for Montini. I don't know what number he is, as I apologize, but here comes Evan Gaughan. Dumps it off Plata, the finish! The 1-2 punch for the Dukes, and that's going to get the lead back up to 3. 8-5, your score.
Evian Plata, we mentioned his name earlier. He gets it done on and off the field. Just that locker room guy.
Yeah, you've mentioned he is a guy for sure.
Your goal, his first of the game, scored by number 11,
just take a look at the difference in programs for York. Check out Montini's bench compared to York. That's, two different teams, two different sizes of schools. It's kind of a David versus Goliath matchup in a way. But Montini has shown they can hang as a 3-goal lead in lacrosse is not nearly as much as, say, a sport like soccer or hockey. The pace can be changed up very fast.
Once again, 10 winning the face-off there. Definitely dominating that battle. Like you said, with the David and Goliath comparison, David refuses to quit.
David Wikipedia, if you're watching. As I was leaving tennis practice, David Wikipedia was cheering on Brownster from the sideline as Brownster was playing his challenge match on court 7, trying to move up in the rankings of the JV1 tennis team. Bibbidi Brownster, some would say.
No remorse.
Here comes Gone. He's going to get this one to go, and now the lead starting to grow for the Dukes. It's 9-5.
Gone getting goal to go here. Had a lot of chances throughout the game. It was only a matter of time until he buried one behind the net. Another main contributor to this Dukes attack.
AD's already got 4 points.
Your goal is second of the game, scored by number 13, Evan Gone.
Not Jesse Ryburn.
Second of the game for Gone. Definitely on hat trick alert. Just needs one more and then could get loud here at the
young freshman, Sonny DeFranzo now in. So we've talked about it a few times, but this team definitely has a lot of guys in the future who are going to be playing. And, even if this is a rebuild year for York, they should be pretty decent. They come in ranked number 9 before their loss to Maine South earlier in the season. I don't know what that puts them at, but.
And Wheaton Academy.
And Wheaton Academy. I'm pretty sure Wheaton Academy is.
They're ranked number 3.
Yeah, they're number 3 in the state. Not sure how close that was, but Wheaton Academy could be a school like Montini in the future, a small private school showing they can recruit and get guys who can play. So here's the shot on goal. It's going to be no good, and it will stay with Montini.
like you said, the Dukes considered to be into a rebuilding year by some, but their rebuilding years can be some teams' best years. So this is definitely not a season to discard for the Dukes.
Absolutely. As Landon McQuade will check back in here. Pulls out Evian Plata. Jack Ward getting in on the action. Great job. And the girls and stuff on the sideline are loving it. It's electric over there. And that's going to be a timeout. Or no, the end of the period. So 12 minutes left. Duke's holding on to that 9-5 lead here. We're going to step aside for a short break here on York Sports Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. 9-5 is your score. Dukes will stick with that same lineup that they had in before the period came to a close. As here comes number 10 once again for Montini, pushing it. The cross and the finish. That shows that the tempo can change so fast in lacrosse. So what a timeout can do, they drew up a play, got the look they wanted, and 14 seconds later you get a goal. So 9-6 here. This game is not going anywhere quite yet.
Masterclass of a goal there. Number 14, great twirl skills, goes with the backhand, practically behind his head, gets it past the keeper. One thing I've noticed is number 10 oftentimes when he's on the attack initiates contact rather than letting the defenders come to him, and that's, I think, what's aided him in his great ball security throughout the game.
Lots of transfer portal action going on today. If you're a college basketball fan. A lot of new coaches, too, moving around this year.
Finton Helm gets the face-off and get off to go his way.
And there it is. It's been 25 seconds of action, and we've already had 2 goals, and that's why lacrosse games can just turn around so fast. Finton Helm turns on the Jets. He's wearing those. He's hitting the gritty now. Don't know about that one, but may have lost some aura there, Samir Khan would say, for McNeese.
Goal, his first of the game, scored by number 22, Finton Helm.
And once again, we do apologize if the main camera isn't too well. Zach Solkaitis and now Johnny Scalzini struggling to stay off their phones here. Just doom scrolling. It's like Gabriel Yaga. He's majoring in doom scrolling at Christ the King University next year. Not the high school, the university. He entered the transfer portal this morning. He's got his decision already.
Both teams still struggling here with the get-off.
Mr. Get-Off.
Montini is awarded possession there. They say last touch by Riggs Cole.
And a nice save from Chavez. He's going to be able to retain possession. He scoops it up. Now looking for another dime. He's got a guy. And they lose it. So another chance presenting itself for Montini. The shot is saved by Chavez. And another save by Gavin Chavez.
Risky
He
move.
sticks with it.
Risky move there by Gavin Chavez, getting outside of the goal, going and then getting the ball himself, getting it out of the danger zone.
And York calls a timeout as they get out of trouble. Why not use it? You got plenty of them. There's a senior stepping up. Gotta love it if you're the coach of the Dukes. And we're going to step aside. 10-6 your score. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. The short break. York has been dominating.
Thank you. Yes.
Up to this point, 10-6 your score. Still a lot of reserves in for York.
One name we've heard a lot from is Josh Reddick. He's been in practically the whole game. Don't even know if he's been to the bench once. Definitely giving their star sophomore some minutes.
Wow. It's a scramble for the ball right now. York is able to retain possession. Jesse Ryburn getting warm on the sidelines. That could be massive later. Reddick with the snipe.
Like I mentioned earlier, they're giving their star sophomore some minutes here. Josh Reddick made varsity as a freshman. Back on it again here. He and Evian Plata, the two-headed monster of this Dukes attack.
Your goal, his first of the game, scored by number 26, Josh Reddick.
You know, when you hear the name Josh Reddick, you can only think of the coach of the Lakers, Josh Reddick.
It's actually JJ.
JJ Reddick, Josh Reddick. Wait, who's Josh Reddick?
Josh Reddick's a player for York High School.
No, there's another one. It's JJ Reddick. I can't believe I messed that up. No ball knowledge. I lost as much aura as Brownster does when he roots for Florida.
Once again, 10 winning the get up and face off. He's just been dominant there. If there is a bright spot for Montini in this game, it's him and just their ability to put up, at the minimum, 6 goals up against this Dukes team.
Number 10, Kadowski guarding him. 10 still pushing it up the middle. Shots off the mark, and that's another great look for him.
Once again, 10 initiates contact, allowing him to keep ball security and being comfortable while driving his way into the Dukes defense, giving him these open shots.
So 9 minutes remaining here. 11-6 your score. Montini needs to find something here in the late minutes as his shot's way off the mark. May have hit a lady Bronco there on the side line, but it will stay here with them. Still no sign of Ben Witt picks. We wonder where he went.
His camera was having issues due to the cold weather, so
and the ball is picked up by Kadowski. And he loses it in transition. That is a little unfortunate, but of course number 10 of Montini has it up top. And now he's going to lose the ball, and there's a flag on the play. Are they going to blow the whistle? Yes, they will. And Kadowski's going to head to the box.
slashing there, the call on Kadowski,
Wait, no, he's not going to the box, my bad.
rather subbing out.
Still no sign of Frank Klein.
Sent to the box and then broke his stick. Back comes in Evan Gaughan and Jack War.
They're moving around up top now. 10 with it. Cross is off the mark, but we'll stay here. Will it? No, it won't.
Jack Ward catching a stray from the crowd there. Being told he's a football player and to toughen up. If I'm Jack Ward, I'm out there gunning to prove something to the fans.
They don't know what hit him. This one's off the mark. Chavez will hold on to it. And still no sign of Jesse Ryburn.
He was warming up. Now,
And Evan Gone picking it up in transition now. He's pushing it down the middle. The shot, no, it's a pass. The extra pass back to him, but it's saved.
amazing hustle there from Landon McQuade, getting out to the sideline, making sure the Dukes retain possession. Crucial play here to ice the game away. Great awareness there from Christian McQuade.
What?
Sorry, Landon McQuade.
With that, we're going to step aside. 11-6, 7 minutes remaining. Duke's timeout. Hello, everyone. We are back. Hopefully, no more massive timeouts will be called.
5-goal lead here for the Dukes. Just barely above 7 minutes to play. This game isn't over yet, but one more goal for the Dukes might be
And
icing it
Landon
away.
McQuade catches and scores his first goal of the varsity season. Way to make the extra pass, and McQuade was able to finish it off. That'll increase the lead to 6.
Landon McQuade icing the game away there. 6-goal lead with just barely above 7 minutes left to play. And with the rate Montini's been going at, it doesn't seem like they'll be able to mount a comeback.
That was a massive goal for Landon McQuade.
False start there from the Dukes on the face-off.
Your goal, his first of the game, scored by number 25, Landon McQuade.
Here comes number 10 in red. He's got another nice look, trying to bounce it in.
Great stick check there from the long stick defender Jack War.
Yeah, not the long snapper. And another nice save from Chavez. He's going to push this one. No, he's not. Gets stripped away. Montini fighting for it. And it's blocked by Gavin Chavez. What a second half he has had.
Immediately getting a high five there from Fenton Helm. Being physical in the crease, getting running over a guy to make the save there.
They cross it over. Now looking to push it. They get it to McQuade. Now back over to Reddick. And like you said, really hasn't sat much. I don't know if he has even sat. Looks like they're going to get an offside. Yes, an offside.
Confusion there. Duke's bench unhappy with the call.
Yeah, they had something nice going there, but they're up 6. They don't necessarily need that goal too much. And here come the Dukes in transition. See if they force the turnover. Let's see if they can get some points off the turnover.
Here goes Helm.
Helmut tries to snipe, but a nice save there from the Montini goalie.
Along with number 10, the Montini goalie has had an excellent game. Let a couple goals get past him here or there, but not much help from his defense, and he's made a good save when he has to.
I'm just going to slow it down. And another timeout on the field. Montini's going to talk things over. We're going to step aside. 12-6 the score. All right. Hello, everyone. 12-6 is your score, and we are here for the last 5 minutes here. And we have an update on the field, a massive update.
Gavin Chavez, amazing second half here, but he's been subbed out for Jesse Ryburn in the goalie position. Now up six goals.
And he is ready to go. He's locked in. He's ready to stand on business.
Trying to prove to the coaches, maybe fight for Gavin's starting spot here in the closing 5 minutes.
And now number 10 up top with it. Have it behind the net. So inside the 4-minute mark, almost, as number 10's going to get another shot on goal. This one is way off the mark, and he's going to take a spill. I don't know if he's just upset about missing or if he's in pain. It looks like he's not hurt at all, and he's just upset about missing.
14 in the X zone, trying to make something happen. Montini, heavy attack here, all their midfielders in the offensive zone.
And a nice steal, and here come the Dukes down the field over to Reddick. Reddick, the cross, and the miss.
Ooh.
From the Dukes. A nice look again, the great passing. And that's been the story of the second half. The way the Dukes have taken care of the ball has been no joke. There's the reason why they are up 6 right now.
Great save there from the goalie, putting his body on the line. Looks to be hitting the below the belt region. Definitely in some pain there.
That's why you wear a cup, folks. As Landon McQuade, working on his defender now, is just going to pull it back out. See what set the Dukes will run here on this possession. Get it back to Landon. He's going to take it behind the net. Monty trying not to give up the middle. Almost with a snipe.
Underhand shot there. Looked good, just a bit wide.
Zach Solkaitis finally makes his return back from 7-11. But it's breaking news that Zach Solkaitis has entered the transfer portal, and he will also be heading to Christ the King alongside with Luca DeSanto and Gabe Arriaga, majoring in doom scrolling. A nice move here. And the shot goal is no good, but it will stay here as McQuade put himself in a good position to keep the ball on this side of the field.
Like you said, McQuade there putting himself in the position, but this entire Dukes attack has been really good about hustling, getting to the ball before Montini can, retaining possession. Cross-checking there called. Reddick has a free play, goes to work on his man.
It's an advantage. He misses it, but here comes the attack again, getting out. And it will stay here as Reddick is still down. They're going to resume play as the cross-check will be called, and he's grimacing in a lot of pain.
Bad sign here as Reddick's been one of the stars for this Dukes attack, and don't want to say it's garbage time as Lacrosse can flip very quickly, but 6-goal lead. Getting injured there, it just hurts as this game is all but over.
And even more girls and stuff filling up the stands for this next matchup as Luca DeSanto will be on the call with who? With Zachary Solkaitis, the shaky cameraman. But he's a great announcer, folks. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. He's eating his pregame meal of champions right now. Beef jerky. Really stinking up the booth here. And it seems that Reddick is going to walk off the field. His helmet off, so he won't return, but it looks like he's getting off the field pretty well. Not too much of a concern.
I have no fear. Malcolm is here.
But the story of the game, Jesse Ryburn. And Malcolm will check in for Reddick. So juniors and sophomores and some freshmen getting most of the time here from here on out as there's 2 minutes remaining. Pull this one back out. Over to McQuade. McQuade with a nice pass. Dukes couldn't capitalize off the nice look there. And now fighting for it.
Miscommunication there. 3 Dukes players surrounding the ball, and yet none of them picked it up.
And they finally do pick it up. McQuade looking for a shot. He dumps it off. A nice pass, but the finish was not there. From 19.
Once again, the Dukes could have had so many more goals if Montini's goalie, number 9, hadn't played nearly half as well as he had today. He's come up with some crucial saves.
Richardson's going to pick this one up. The Dukes sideline trying to get some energy flowing. They want to see one more goal. As McQuade crosses it over. Extra pass. Richardson. Can he finish? No, and a foul. Or a flag. I don't know why I said foul. But not sure why Richardson had to be thrown to the ground. That probably wouldn't have changed much. But the Dukes will get one more go at it, most likely.
That check there, looking like something just to be proud of in film when watching film. Make the coaches happy, play till the end.
.45 seconds on the clock, and Dukes are looking strong. One more goal would be the icing on the cake. And they're going to give it to Montini. Goalie launches it down, And there's no one in the net. Will it go? It will! A Hail Mary. They caught Jesse Ryburn lacking in the backfield. It won a massive snipe to cut the lead down to 5 with 30 seconds left. Chris Paul, if you will.
Jesse Ryburn pulled out of the goal, just going for the right wing attack, man. Left the goal open. Just a lapse in judgment there.
Oh, man.
Trying to make the right play, but the main job of the goalie is this. Great shot there from number 9. Yes, the goal was open, but
Sports Center top 10, where you at?
he still shot that from all the way in his own crease, getting it across the field.
I can totally send that in because I know Sean before. Should we send it in? Just block out the score.
So 12-7. That was a Hail Mary.
Just a couple more of those, and Montini is right back in it.
And another snipe on Jesse Ryburn, and here come the Broncos in crunch time.
Maybe just a little too late.
It looks like Ryburn was in a great position to make that save. The ball took an awkward bounce. May have thrown him off, but Duke still cling to that 4-goal lead, so nothing to be worried about quite yet.
15 seconds to go. Dukes, like you said, have a 4-point lead, but
And Frank Klein is back in.
Frank Klein has returned, appears to have a new stick.
It looks like it's taped up and all right. Thank goodness. We'll see if the Dukes pull a Bruno Massel and just run around till the clock runs out.
Shout out to the equipment managers over on the sideline of the Dukes, fixing up Frank Klein's stick.
And that's going to wrap things up here at Clarence D. Hayes Field. Frank Klein gives Jesse Ryburn a massive hug. That basically sums this one up as the Dukes pick up their first win of the season. 12-8 is your final. Montini gave them a great fight. Overall, the Dukes are going to pull away with this one. And stay tuned for our next matchup between the girls Montini and girls York, where they'll face off Luca DeSanto and Zach Solkitis on the call. Coming up here on York Sports Network. Thank you to all who tuned in tonight, and go Dukes.